Well, good morning. It's April 28th, 2020, and I'm here to do some Kundalini Yoga with you this morning. My name is Tim Irwin, and I'm one of the teachers for the Eccles Community Arts Center here in Ogden. And so they've asked me to continue our classes online, so this will be the second one we've done this way. And I'm glad you're able to join us this morning. This week, what we're going to be working on is the digestive system. Our overall series right now has been on the immune system. And interestingly enough, the immune system and the digestive system have a common origin. They started out as the same system way back when we were still in the evolutionary process. And it was because the digestive system was simple enough that it was able to protect itself by itself. And so the whole immune system was contained in the digestive system. As we evolved and became more and more complex creatures, that immune system had bigger and bigger jobs it had to do. So it started incorporating the nervous system and the endocrine system and all of our glands, and it became a much more complicated system. And so the yogis have created a way to keep that more complicated system functioning well, disease-free, your elimination system working well, so that we're able to get our energy from our food, but not get any of the bacteria that comes along with that, any of the bad bacteria. Our microbiome is made up of good bacteria, but in that evolutionary process, the digestive system and immune system figured out the good from the bad. And so it's a very complex process now. But as the yogis have pointed out, if we keep that digestive system and elimination system strong and balanced, it can do wonders to keep our immune system functioning well. So that's what we're going to be working on this week. Let's start out by centering ourselves, tuning in, and we do that with a mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo, I bow to the creative power of the universe, the divine feminine, if you will. And the Gurudev Namo, I bow to the teacher within me that brings me from that state of darkness into the state of light. So I bow to the creative force of the universe, and then I bow to myself. Bring your hands together at the center of the chest. Deep breath in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Deep breath in. Relax your hands into your lap. Find your center, moving your sit bones into your mat or into your cushion. Arch your back slightly forward to clear your tailbone. Slight arch to your lower back. And begin stacking your vertebrae as you move up your spine, finding that perfect balance point. Shoulders back, chin in, and stretch your spine up as if you had a string being stretched straight out of the top of the back of your head. Stretch it up, stretch it up, stretch it up, and relax down into place. Focus of your eyes is right at that third eye point where your nose and your eyebrows come together, and then about 2 inches back into your skull. It's where we want to be focusing. Deep breath, and I would have you stay in this spot for a little bit. And when you're starting out your Kriya, stay in that center spot for a few minutes. Get to know that spot. that is your most sacred private space that you can always retreat to. And the more you practice that, the easier it becomes and the more secure and comfortable you feel in that space. It becomes just a warm, cozy little space that you can always go to and depend on to be there for you. Okay, this is going to be the Kriya for disease resistance. And as the yogi said, if you want to avoid persistent colds, flu, sicknesses, we've got to keep that digestive and elimination function going well. So this Kriya is going to help us do that. It's going to start out with the first asana that looks a lot like how we would do Sat Kriya. It starts out up on your knees if you can. Now remember, we talked about that some of you may not be able to get on your knees. I'm going to show you another way this week that you can do that, and that's by using a couple of blocks. If you've had a knee injury, I recommend you do this rather than put so much strain on your knees. So this works for me because of old knee injuries. It may work for you as well. If you're able, you don't need the props and you can sit right down onto your heels for this asana. Now, for this one, our hands are going to come together as if in prayer pose, but we're going to hold our arms straight up over our head with our upper arms hugging our ears. And it's going to be a real simple asana in that we just inhale and then we pump. And you'll pump for as long as you can hold your breath. Then you'll exhale everything out. Then you'll inhale again and pump. Focus right at that third eye point. Once you get the rhythm going, keep pumping until you can't hold your breath any longer and exhale. Inhale again and pump. Go until you can't hold your breath any longer, exhale. Now, you're going to continue this for 1 to 3 minutes. 1 is your minimum, 3 minutes is what you'd be working for ideally. So if you'd like to at this point, go ahead and turn off the recording and spend the next up to 3 minutes with your arms up over your head and a good solid pump. One thing to try when you're in this position is roll your armpits towards each other. It's going to be a lot easier to hold your arms in that upper position if you've widened your back and rolled your armpits towards each other. So give that a try and I'll be here waiting for you. Okay, welcome back. This next one, as you finish up that last asana, just a nice deep inhale, shake your shoulders out, get loosened up, and ready for this next asana. Now for the second one, we're still on our knees. You may need to straighten your legs out and get the wrinkles out of your knees a little bit, but we're going to still be sitting on our knees for this asana. And this exercise is called bear grip. And its main purpose is to strengthen our heart center, our heart chakra, but it also stimulates the thymus. And the thymus is a critically important part of our immune system because it helps in the maturation of white blood cells. And so those white blood cells, which are critical as the warrior cells, get really helped by this asana. So it goes like this. We start out with our left hand, bring it right in front of the chest, thumb down and palm away from you. Bring the right hand in on top of it, grip the fingers together, and inhale and pull. Pull as hard as you can, holding the breath, holding the breath, holding the breath, until you can't. Do everything you can to pull it apart. Maximum force, and then exhale. Take another deep breath. And do it again. Feeling that force. Exhale. Let all the air out. Inhale. And pull again. pulling as hard as you can, maximum force, really concentrating on that energy. Once again, you're going to do this from 1 to 3 minutes, pulling right at the heart center as hard as you can. And then to finish, you'll just do an inhale and relax your hands down. That's after a maximum of 3 minutes. So once again, if you'd like to turn off your recording, I'll be here when you get back. Okay, welcome back. I hope that one went well for you. This next exercise, we will still be sitting up on our heels. So if you can still be there, that's great. If you need to straighten your legs out for a minute and shake them, I totally understand, and that's fine too. This next asana is directly to exercise and improve our digestion. We're going to really be putting some crunch to it and moving things around, kind of giving ourselves an internal massage. But it also really helps in the flexibility of the spine so that we can move those critical fluids up and down the spinal cord more easily. Now it starts out with your fingers in Venus lock, and you'll bring them right behind the head, underneath your hair. If you have long hair, bring your fingers underneath so it's skin-to-skin contact with your hands on the back of the neck. Don't pull forward, though. Don't allow your arms to pull your neck forward. That can get both uncomfortable, and it could actually do damage if you pull hard enough. So keep your your hands just resting on the back, and exhale as you're bending forward. So we exhale all the way down until our forehead touches the floor, and inhale back up. Exhale down to the floor and inhale back up. Now this is okay to do this in cross-legged or easy pose as well. If you can't sit on your knees any longer, that's fine to do it from that position. You'll find you can't get your forehead all the way to the floor if you're doing it in easy pose. Don't worry about it, just go as far as you can. But if you can, it's hands behind the neck, minimum pressure, pulling the head forward, and exhale forward, touch, inhale back up. And you're going to do this for 1 to 3 minutes, maximum of 3 minutes. So I'll be here for you to finish. When you get to the end of your 3 minutes, just inhale as you sit up and go into a relaxation position. So I'll be here when you get back. Great. The next asana, and we're going to finally be able to get off of those knees. Our fourth one is called front stretch. So we're going to move down to where we are sitting with our legs straight out in front of us. And the way front stretch works is we're going to grab our toes, if this is at all possible for you. Grab your toes with your index and your middle finger, and you just hook them around your toes. And then we're going to start leaning forward by lengthening our spine as long as we can make it, coming forward. And the last thing to come down is our head comes down towards our knees. It's sometimes easier if you think of this from the point of view of trying to get your chest to your thighs rather than your head to your knees, because trying to just bring your head to your knees will just make you curl up without really stretching and lengthening the spine. So that's where I really want your focus, is lengthening that spine, coming forward as long as you can, bring the chest towards the thighs, and finally let the head come forward. In that position, it's just going to be long, relaxed breathing. The head follows last into the position, and then just breathe. Just normal breath. And you're going to stay in that position from 1 to 3 minutes once again. As short as 1 minute to really get the feel of the asana, and as long as 3 full minutes. What this exercise is doing is allowing the glandular secretions from the previous exercise to really take effect as you relax in that forward pose. They will really take effect. So go ahead, turn off your recording, and I'll be here in 3 minutes. All right, perfect. It's great to have you back. Hopefully you were able to remember that lead, straight, lengthen your spine, lead with that, and finally let your head come down forward. Okay, our next asana is going to be neck rolls. Now this exercise and the following two are really to open up the circulation up to the brain. But primarily what we're focusing on is getting up to those higher glands, including the pituitary, the parathyroid, the thyroid gland, the pineal glands, all which work in harmony and very closely together as a major functional components of your immune system. So these next three are really going to be to get those fluids going to those glands, the blood, and really energizing the brain and the glands. So it starts out with sitting in easy pose. Our hands are just relaxed in our lap, and we just start circling our neck, our head in one position, slowly around and around. And you're going to go for 1 to 2 minutes in that direction. And then you're going to change directions, and then you'll go 1 to 2 minutes in the other direction. So just a circle, a neck roll. Be careful about going too far to the back. Don't put a lot of pressure. Just let it glide over when you're going over the back. Go ahead and start that. Go for up to 2 minutes in one direction, then switch and go the other direction. You can go ahead and turn off your recording, and I'll be here when you get back. All right, that is great. Your head is back at the central position. A couple of deep breaths to get that smoothed out. And now let's go for the next one of that circulation building asanas. This one's called cat-cow. So I'll need you to get up on your hands and knees. The elbows stay straight. And we start out with the inhale position with a sag in your back as if somebody just sat down on your back. So that's the inhale. The last thing that happens is your head comes up as you inhale. Now to exhale, the back arches and then the head comes down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And continue. You're going, just remember that the head is the last thing to move. As you get the motion going, you can speed up. You can make it go a little faster. Be careful how hard you whip your neck, because we're really not trying to get whiplash here. We're just trying to pump that fluid and move that fluid. So you're going to do that for 1 to 3 minutes. So go ahead and turn off your recording, then get into position on your hands and knees. Remember, the back sags down on the inhale, the head comes up. On the exhale, you go into the cat position, where the spine is arched like a cat and the head comes down. Go ahead and give that a try. I'll be here when you get back. Okay, fantastic. Hopefully that went well for you, and you were actually even able to get to the point where you could speed up a little bit by the time you got to the 3 minutes. The next one in those 3 that I talked about that are critically important for feeding the glands, if you will, is going to be alternate shoulder shrugs. Now this one is done back up on the heels. So if you can, move to your heels. If you need to get a block, get a block. And the hands go here on the thighs. And this one's real easy. It's left shoulder for the inhale, right shoulder shrugs up for the exhale. So it's try to hold everything completely still, your head and your neck, except for the shoulders. We're really working to get rid of any locks in that lower neck that would keep those fluids from flowing. This one is going to go, once again, from 1 to 3 minutes. So you'll do this motion, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. When you get to the 3-minute point, I want you to raise both shoulders up on the inhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and then relax. Go ahead and give that a try. Turn off your recording, and I'll be here when you get back. Okay, welcome back. I hope that one went easy. The next one is a very simple one and always a favorite amongst everybody. And that's just simply the corpse pose. Laying down flat on your back. And as you'll recall, I mentioned to you last week, the one thing I'd like you to try is make sure that your palm's up. A lot of times we will, by nature, have our hands relaxed or just laying by our sides. In this case, I want you in a receive position to receive energy by having your palms up. Lay back and just relax. Deeply relax. Even going to sleep is fine, but we'd really like to keep it from 5 to 7 minutes. So I'll see you back in 5 to 7. Okay, welcome back, and I hope that you were able to really soak up some of that energy from the previous parts of the Kriya with that corpse pose. We're going to move into the 9th asana of this Kriya now, and this one is pretty easy, but there are a couple important things. It's called triangle pose, and the way you're going to do this is get on your hands and knees and then push up and step your feet up until your heels are flat on the floor and your hands are flat on the floor. Then bring your head down between your arms, and ideally what you're looking for is a straight line from the heel to the hip and from the hips to the hands, ideally. That's what we'd be looking for. So push up into that triangle pose, and it will really help here too. You remember on that one asana I talked about rolling your armpits together. That's really going to help on this one too. Your chin's in, and if you roll the armpits together, it kind of puts a lock in the muscles and makes it a lot easier to stay there. So give that a try. Heels to the floor, arms straight, and you're in a triangle. So it's heels to hips to hands. Give that a try. Long, deep breathing while you're in the position. And to end, you'll just inhale slowly and come out of the position down onto your knees. Let's try it for the next 3 minutes. Oops, I'm sorry. 5 minutes. It's a good thing I double checked. We're going to do this for 5 minutes, so give it your best. Go ahead and turn off your recording and give it your 5-minute best. Okay, welcome back. Now, when you're in that position, if you have to take a temporary break, it's okay. Take a break, get your breath back, and just simply go back into the position as quickly as you can. The final asana that we're doing for this Kriya is called the elephant walk. Now, I really like this one for several reasons. It's ideally to adjust your magnetic field, but I find that if I've tweaked my lower back a little bit, I can get myself straightened back out and get the pain to go away simply by this asana. So all you do is bend forward, grab the ankles, and walk. And we walk around. And we're going to do that from 1 till 3 minutes. When you get to that 3-minute point, simply come back to the point where you started and sit back down and relax. Give that a try for another 3 minutes, 1 to 3 minutes, the elephant walk, and then I'll see you back at this spot. We'll relax for a minute and then we'll go into our meditation. Well, welcome back. Our meditation today is a real interesting one. It's not very hard. You may want to get a pillow to sit on during the meditation. Try to scoot forward so that your spine stays real straight. This one is done in easy pose with a straight spine. Our hands are out in front of us with a comfortably bent elbow, just your arms right at your sides. And we're going to be pumping our hands as if we were clapping our hands, but they're never really going to touch. And what we're going to do is a 5-segment breath in through our nose and a 5-segment breath out through our mouth. Our eyes will be closed, focus at the third eye point, but what I want you to be focusing in your thoughts on and really thinking about is feeling that energy that's between your hands. Feel that energy field. For 11 minutes, we're going to do this meditation with the 5 segments in through your nose, 5 segments out through your mouth, focusing on the energy field. The purposes of this is to really get us familiar with how that energy field feels and get it strong for the purposes of our immune system. Having our energy field pumped up and as strong as possible at the start of each day goes a tremendous long way of keeping you safe, keeping your body energized and ready to fight off anything it encounters. So, come into easy pose, back straight, focus at the third eye point, and 5 breath segments in, and 5 out through the mouth. And continue for 11 minutes. I'll see you here at the end of the 11 minutes. Okay, well, welcome back. I hope that went well for you for the full 11 minutes. One thing, just like I was telling you with the other position, sometimes you run into a situation where it becomes difficult to hold the posture. Maybe your knees started hurting as you were sitting there at about minute 9. It's okay to come out of the posture for just a second, square away what it is that's hurting, and then go back into it again. It's awfully hard to meditate if the only thing you can think about is, oh my God, my knees hurt so bad. So come out of the position, fix whatever the problem is, and go back in. And then if you want to tack on a few minutes onto the end, that's fine. But remember, Kundalini Yoga is householder's yoga. We understand that sometimes things happen. You got to keep it real. Sometimes you can't hold the position for the full 3 minutes or 11 minutes, and you have to come out of it. That's okay. That's okay. Just go back into it as quickly as you can. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed the Elimination Kriya today. Let's bring our hands to the prayer pose and deep breath in. Remember, we finish all Kundalini sessions with the Welsh folk song, the long time sun. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Well, may the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Oh, may the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on. Deep breath in. Satnam. Identify with truth. Satnam.